was silent except for the faint hum of the laptop. Sam stared at the glowing screen, scrolling through endless search results. He had spent hours researching random topics: how to delete search history, dark web myths, unsolved mysteries, and even creepy urban legends. It was all harmless fun, or so he thought. Have you ever wondered who watches you when you're online? We all assume no one cares about our searches. But what if someone does? What if something does? It all began when Sam noticed something odd. His search bar started auto-filling with phrases he had never typed: how to hide a body, where to find cursed artifacts, and summoning rituals. He frowned, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. Maybe it was a prank, a glitch. But who could have done this? He deleted the suggestions and closed the browser. Weird, he muttered, heading to bed. But that night, his dreams were anything but peaceful. He saw himself sitting at his laptop, but the screen wasn't showing search results. Instead, it displayed a live feed of him sleeping. In the dream, he watched in horror as something dark and shapeless crawled into his room and hovered by his bed. When he woke up, his laptop was open, even though he was sure he'd closed it. Would you have ignored something like that? Sam tried to shrug it off. It's just a dream, he told himself, laughing nervously. But deep down, he wasn't convinced. The next day, things got worse. His phone buzzed with notifications. When he checked, they weren't from his usual apps. They were from an app he didn't remember installing. It was called Echoes. The logo was a swirling black void. Curious and a little scared, he opened it. The screen displayed a list of his recent searches. Not just the harmless ones about movie reviews or recipes, but the creepy ones he barely remembered looking up. The ones about ghosts, curses, and strange rituals. At the bottom, a message blinked in red. You can't hide from what you've searched. Sam's hands shook as he deleted the app. Or tried to. The icon wouldn't budge. Every time he dragged it to the trash, it reappeared. Worse, the notifications kept coming. You're not alone. We know what you fear. Keep searching. By now, Sam's anxiety was through the roof. He started covering his laptop's webcam and putting his phone face down. But no matter what he did, the strange app seemed to know everything. It began showing him old searches he didn't even remember making, some from years ago. Embarrassing ones, dark ones, searches he wished he could erase from existence. What's the weirdest thing you've ever looked up? Imagine if someone used it against you. That's how Sam felt. Exposed, vulnerable, and terrified. One night, Sam decided to fight back. He stayed up late, digging into his computer settings, trying to trace where the app had come from. Hours passed, and just when he was about to give up, he found a folder buried deep in his files. It was labeled Echoes. Inside were dozens of video files. He clicked one. The video showed him, sitting at his desk, browsing the internet. The timestamp was from 2 nights ago. Chills ran down his spine as he realized someone, or something, had been recording him. He clicked another file. This one showed him asleep in bed. The timestamp was from last night. This can't be real, he whispered. But it was. Suddenly, his screen went black. Then a single line of text appeared. You can't delete us. We are part of you now. Sam slammed the laptop shut. He unplugged it and shoved it into his closet. But even without the laptop, he couldn't escape. His phone buzzed incessantly with new notifications. He stopped checking them, but the messages grew louder, more aggressive. Run. It's coming. Don't look behind you. Sam's heart pounded. He didn't dare turn around. The room felt colder, darker. He could feel someone or something standing behind him. Slowly, he turned his head. Nothing was there. This is insane, he muttered, grabbing his car keys. He needed to get out, to clear his head. Driving always helped him think. But as he sped down the empty road, his phone buzzed again. Against his better judgment, he glanced at the screen. The notification was a live video feed of his car from the back seat. Sam swerved to the side of the road, his breath coming in short gasps. He turned around, but the back seat was empty. "I'm losing my mind," he whispered, tears streaming down his face. He threw the phone out the window and drove home. But when he walked through his front door, it was sitting on the kitchen counter, screen glowing. He didn't even question it anymore. He was too tired, too scared. That night, Sam received one final notification. "Apologize and we might forgive you." Apologize? For what? He yelled, his voice echoing in the empty house. The app responded instantly. For everything. For searching. For doubting. For thinking you could escape. Sam dropped to his knees. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I didn't know. I didn't mean to." The screen flickered. Then, the notification stopped. The app disappeared. For the first time in days, the house was silent. Sam felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe it was over. But as he lay in bed, staring at the dark ceiling, his laptop turned on by itself. The screen lit up, displaying a new message. "We're always watching." Sam screamed, but no one heard him. And if they did, they chose to ignore it. After all, who wants to admit that their search history has a life of its own? Have you ever felt watched? Maybe you should check your search history. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe to my channel. Who knows? Maybe I'll share the secrets hiding in your searches next.